Imagine being a member of the Black Death sect, chilling in the rain, when suddenly the vibe turns into a straight-up horror movie. The lightning isn't just for show, guys, it is a warning that a total menace is standing right at your front door.
The rumors were true, and the local fodder are absolutely losing their minds because the legendary nameless swordsman has finally arrived to collect their souls.
They are screaming to kill him, but honestly, look at that drip, they are just NPCs in his world.
These unorthodox faction warriors charge in like they actually have a chance, thirsting for blood like it is a Black Friday sale.
Spoiler alert, the only thing getting discounted today is their life expectancy as the MC prepares to turn this courtyard into a cemetery.
One absolute genius decides to try a sneak attack from the shadows, thinking he is the main character of a stealth game. He really thought he could catch our boy off guard from behind, but the nameless swordsman is built different.
Before this guy can even process what is happening, the MC delivers a lethal counter with blinding speed. You can see it in his eyes, he is not here to play games or give long-winded speeches about the power of friendship.
The attacker gasps his final breath in total disbelief, wondering how on earth he got sliced while the MC was not even looking at him.
That is what we call a skill issue, buddy, maybe try not being a side character next time.
The sound of rushing rain is the only thing louder than the internal screaming of these sect members.
The MC stands amidst the absolute carnage he just created, looking like a dark god with those bandages hiding whatever trauma-fueled face is underneath. The leader of this circus finally steps out, questioning why a supposed warrior of justice would hide his identity so thoroughly. He is trying to act all philosophical, but you can tell he is sweating bullets under that smug exterior. Our nameless swordsman does not even blink as he coldly dismisses the title, stating plainly that he is not a warrior of justice at all. He is basically saying, I am just here for the smoke, old man, and honestly, we love an honest king. The leader is genuinely confused now, asking why someone who isn't righteous would waste their time hunting down the unorthodox faction. It is like he cannot wrap his tiny brain around the idea of a chaotic neutral protagonist. The wanderer reaffirms his stance with zero hesitation, declaring that he has never once claimed to be a righteous or noble man. He is a professional hater, and the unorthodox faction just happened to be on his to-do list today. The leader starts laughing like a typical anime villain, accusing the swordsman of deceiving the entire world with his hero-like actions.
He thinks he found a plot hole, but the MC is about to shut that down real quick.
The protagonist counters that he never tricked anyone, people just projected their own desperate hopes and beliefs onto his blade because they needed a hero. Talk about a savage reality check for the entire martial arts world.
Impressed by this dark honesty, the leader realizes he is dealing with the true monster, not some self-righteous monk.
He finds the nameless swordsman incredibly intriguing, probably because he knows this is the last interesting thing he will see before he dies. Knowing his time is up, the leader prepares himself to cross the river of the dead without any regrets. He is going out with some dignity, which is more than we can say for the fodder he sent to die earlier. He challenges the warrior to come forward, accepting that whether he is a hero or a literal demon, the result of their clash is going to be the same. The tension is so thick you could cut it with a dull butter knife.
The intensity peaks as the leader prepares for his final stand against the man who came there specifically to end his bloodline.
It is a clash of titans in the pouring rain, and only one of them is walking out of the sect alive. Imagine being a legendary sect and getting packed up in a single afternoon.
The Manhwa sect is currently a literal lake of blood, and the vibe is absolutely cooked.
Petals are falling over a mountain of corpses, and the legendary reputation of these guys just went up in smoke. The reinforcement squads from Shaolin and Wudong show up late to the party as usual.
They are looking at the carnage with their jaws on the floor, wondering what kind of demon could drench an entire mountain in this much red.
A lone survivor is shaking like a leaf, gasping out the impossible truth.
He tells the masters that the entire sect was deleted by just one man. Talk about a massive power gap, these high-tier warriors are looking around like they are next on the menu. Out steps our mysterious killer from the shadows, looking way too calm for someone who just committed a mass deletion. He moves with an eerie grace that sends chills down the spines of every sect leader present. The reinforcements try to act tough, demanding to know who this monster is.
Shaolin, Wudong, Namgung, they are all lined up, but they are clearly terrified of the man standing in front of them with a blood-soaked blade.
Our main man is totally nonchalant about the crowd he has gathered.
He explains that he only sought out Manhwa because everyone said they were the strongest, but his facial expression says he is bored out of his mind.
He roasts the entire sect right to their faces, calling the rumors a total scam.
It turns out Manhua was a crushing disappointment, and he is looking at the new arrivals like they are just a fresh batch of low-level mobs to farm.
The sect leaders are losing their minds, screaming about peace and souls while they prepare a combined attack.
They think they can jump him and win, but our boy just smirks like he is finally about to have some actual fun.
Just as the battle reaches a fever pitch, the world starts to glitch out.
The high-stakes drama turns into pixels, revealing that this entire bloodbath was just a session of a hyper-violent virtual reality game.
Meet Dong Bongsu, the ultimate gamer who just pulled off a sect-wide genocide from his couch.
He removes his VR headset, looking a bit sweaty and wondering if that combined attack was actually going to be a challenge.
This game is Murim Online, a simulation famous for its extreme gore and severed limbs. Despite everyone demanding it be shut down, Bongsu is addicted. Meanwhile, the news is reporting that a big-shot executive named Mr. No has gone missing. Bongsu is not just a menace in the game, he is a real-world predator. We see him in a dark room with a terrified captive who is sobbing and begging for mercy. This is definitely not a gaming stream anymore. The captive is Mr. No himself, looking absolutely pathetic as he pleads with Bongsu. Bongsu just looks at him with those dead eyes, asking if the man really expects help after what he has done. Bongsu drops the receipts. He pulls out photos of No's heinous crimes, torturing and murdering 6 innocent women.
This corporate simp thought he was a ghost, but Bongsu has been hunting him this entire time.
Bongsu explains his edgy philosophy: most people are herbivores, but the carnivores hunt the weak. He has decided to be the hunter who preys on the monsters. No starts repenting, but it is way too late for a redemption arc. Bongsu is done with the talking. He raises a massive hammer, ready to deliver some vigilante justice. The begging is getting old, and our boy is ready to finish the job he started in the real world.
Suddenly, the police breach the room, screaming for Bongsu to freeze.
They found his hideout, and now our vigilante is trapped. Mr. No tries to act like a victim, calling Bongsu a bastard while he cowers in the corner. The situation turns into a chaotic mess.
Bongsu realizes that the law will never understand his mission.
To the cops, he is just a psychopathic murderer, not the hunter of monsters he claims to be. Bongsu makes a move, and the cops do not hesitate. They open fire, turning our protagonist into a target.
As the bullets fly, Bongsu realizes that talking to a cop is a total waste of time in his line of work.
As he lies there dying, Bongsu reflects on the nature of predators and prey. He has no regrets about taking out the trash. He just wishes he could be in a world where he can hunt beasts to his heart's content. His final wish is simple: send me to a place like the Murim. A world where the strong rule and he can kill all the monsters he wants without the police ruining the fun. Death is finally knocking, but it is not the end. The scene fades to white as Bongsu takes his final breath in the real world. He is ready for a new game, one where he does not have to worry about the law protecting the carnivores he hates.
Bongsu awakens with a gasp, but something is wrong.
He is alive, but his body feels like it was put through a paper shredder. He is covered in wounds and bruises that definitely did not come from a gunshot. He is currently being dragged through the dirt by a local thug who is treating him like a piece of trash. Bongsu is still processing the fact that he is breathing, while this random bully is barking threats in his face. The thug is a total lowlife, bragging about how he is going to make Bongsu pay. Bongsu just stares at his new, scrawny hands, realizing that he has actually been reborn into a completely different body. Bongsu starts laughing, which confuses the hell out of the thug. Our boy is not scared, he is ecstatic.
He realizes that his dying wish actually came true, and he is in a world full of beasts to hunt.
The bully tries to get a reaction out of him, but Bongsu is already analyzing his new environment. He knows this place. The architecture, the clothes, the atmosphere, it is all exactly like the game he loved. The transition is almost complete.
Bongsu is battered and weak now, but his mind is still that of an elite hunter.
He is looking at this thug like he is just the tutorial boss for his new life. A massive system notification suddenly blares in his vision.
The ding echoes through his mind, welcoming him back to the world he spent so much time in.
It is officially game on for our psycho vigilante. Player Dong Bongsu has officially logged in. The interface confirms his identity and welcomes him to Murim Online, the world where only the strongest reside.
Bongsu is smiling like a maniac through the blood and dirt.
The thug is still talking trash, but Bongsu is already feeling the power surging back. He is ready to turn this whole world into his personal hunting ground, and it starts with the idiot currently holding his collar. The aura around Bongsu shifts from a victim to a predator in an instant. The thug has no idea that the man he is bullying is the same monster who wiped out the Manhwa sect in a virtual life.
Bongsu looks at the moon and sighs with relief.
He is finally in a place where his bloodlust is a virtue, not a crime.
The hunt is officially back on, and nobody is safe from the apex hunter.
He looks over his new scarred body and realizes this person must have had a miserable life.
Well, that is about to change, because a demon just took over the driver's seat, and he is looking for trouble. Bongs is standing tall, despite the pain. He is everything he ever wanted, a world of chaos, beasts to kill, and a system to track his kills.
Welcome to the Murim, kid. Things are about to get very bloody.
The screen finalizes the welcome message. Dong Bongsu is ready to show this world what a real carnivore looks like.
If you thought the game was violent, just wait until you see what he does when it is for real.
Welcome to the bottom of the food chain, where our main character is currently busy shoveling literal horse trash. Enter Mr. Machiel, an overseer whose face looks like it was sat on by the very horses he manages. He decides that the local orphan, Sosum, is having too much fun and demands he drop everything to follow him. When the poor kid stutters out a logical excuse about not being finished, Machiel goes full psycho.
He chokes out the boy, reminding him that the Danri clan only feeds him because they need a slave.
Honestly, this guy is a walking red flag with a top knot, and he clearly skipped every class on human rights.
Just when you think the bullying is over, enter Dongo, another generic thug who probably smells like cheap ale.
These two geniuses decide that instead of working, they are heading to the Phoenix Tavern to get wasted. And who gets the bill? Not them. They are leaving all the heavy lifting to our resident punching bag. Look at this pile of weapons. Machiel calls Sosum a perfectly good horse and punches him into the dirt just for existing. It is the classic bully the weak orphan trope turned up to 11. He is basically telling the kid to move a mountain of steel while he goes to simp for some tavern girls.
The trash duo leaves, and Sosum is left coughing up blood. The kid starts hauling bags of swords that weigh more than his entire bloodline.
We get a glimpse of his tragic backstory, family wiped out by a flood, leaving him as the sole survivor just to be treated like dirt. Life really has it out for this kid. He is literally dragging himself through the red-tinted misery of his existence.
He looks so pale that even the local blacksmith thinks he is about to meet his ancestors.
Sosum tries to say he is fine, but his body is clearly writing checks his soul cannot cash anymore. Darkness starts closing in, and it is getting cold. A mysterious voice asks if he really wants to keep living this pathetic, insect-like life. Then, a massive, glowing-eyed shadow looms over him. If this is the Grim Reaper, he is definitely on steroids. The original Sosum finally breaks.
He wonders where it all went wrong. Was it the flood?
Was it knocking on the Danri clan gates? Spoilers, it was everything. He collapses, begging for a savior, while we see flashes of him being beaten to a pulp.
This is not a tragedy, it is a massacre.
But wait, the eyes change. A new soul has entered the chat.
Dong Bongsu wakes up in a stable, realized he is in a kid's body. He remembers the name Sosum and looks into a water trough, only to realize he has been reincarnated into the world's most miserable intern. Bongsu realizes the real Sosum was literally beaten to death, and he has just hijacked the corpse.
Talk about a weird first day on the job. But then, something even weirder happens. A blue glow starts manifesting in the air. Is it a ghost? No, it is every gamer's favorite hallucination. It is a glitchy, backward status window. Welcome to Murim Online, the game where the strongest reside. Bongsu is looking at stats for strength, agility, and intelligence like he is about to build a character. Meanwhile, Machiel is walking around with a bowl of mystery mush, still complaining about his life. Machiel is tilted because he has to clean up after Bongsu's previous run-in with a guy named Pungborang. Apparently, the new Sosum caused some trouble, and Machiel is tired of wiping the ass of what he calls a pathetic little worm. This guy's internal monologue is just one big salt mine. For a second, Machiel actually considers murdering the kid to save himself the trouble. But he is a coward at heart. He knows if he gets caught, his neck is on the chopping block. So, he just kicks the bowl of food at Bongsu and calls him a fucking idiot for surviving. Charming, right? Fast forward 2 weeks. Bongsu has been playing it cool, gathering intel.
He realizes this place uses Chinese characters, but it is definitely not China.
It is a world where martial arts are not just for movies, they are the literal laws of physics. We are talking fantastical techniques, people flying around and moving faster than a camera shutter.
Bongsu watches these warriors train and realizes that in this world, martial arts are alive and breathing.
It is basically the real-life version of the game he used to play. The status window is fully functional, and here is the kicker, only he can see it. He is basically walking around with a cheat code in a world where everyone else is playing on hardcore mode. He is still trying to figure out if he is a human or just a player in a very realistic simulation. He concludes this place is undeniably real because the people have genuine emotions and don't just act like scripted NPCs. He is looking at his reflection, seeing the red eyes of a predator starting to wake up. The stuttering orphan act is officially reaching its expiration date. Dongo returns, looking for another round of bullying. He mocks little brother Sosum for living the good life while he got a chewing out. He has no idea that the person sitting in front of him is no longer a victim, but a ticking time bomb. Bongsu just stares at him while drinking water, completely ignoring the thug's threats. When Dongo tries to get physical, Bongsu snaps. In a flash of blue and red light, he strikes. The speed is insane, Dongo did not even see it coming.
It is a bloodbath.
Bongsu is not just defending himself, he is hunting.
He cold-bloodedly informs the dying man that the kid he knew died a long time ago.
The look in Bongsu's eyes is pure, unadulterated savage. He is literally choking the life out of his bully.
Dongo is gurgling on his own blood, realizing too late that he picked a fight with a monster.
Bongsu stabs him repeatedly with a broken bowl shard, proving that he has zero chill. The weak are prey, and the strong are revered, that is the only law he cares about now. The screen goes red as Bongsu finishes the job.
He is covered in blood and laughing like a total psycho.
This is the true nature he was hiding back in his old world.
He is not just surviving, he is enjoying the heat of the kill.
He stands in the rain of blood, questioning his humanity one last time, before deciding it does not matter.
This world is a jungle, and he is the apex predator. He has learned the great law from Machiel and this dead guy: if you are weak, you get eaten. He looks out at a world filled with fire and war, realizing he can finally hunt to his heart's content. No more hiding, no more pretending to be a good person. He is surrounded by monsters and carnivores, and honestly, he feels right at home. A massive blue wolf spirit howls into the sky, symbolizing his awakening. As soon as this body recovers, the real hunt begins. He is reaching for the moon, ready to tear this new Murim apart. The dark city under a full moon, where his legend begins. If you were looking for a hero, keep looking. We just watched a monster get born, and it is going to be glorious.
Imagine waking up in a Murim world, only to realize your new life is basically a high-stakes horror movie.
Our boy Bongsu is done playing the victim and starts evaluating his new reality, realizing some targets aren't even worth a full hunt. He decides it is time to check his cheat codes and activates the inventory. Back in the Murim online game, this was just a basic slot-based system, but things are looking way more broken here. Instead of limited slots, he discovers the space is a massive, open void. We are talking hundreds of square meters of empty space just waiting to be filled with whatever he loots. To test the limits of this absolute cheat code, Bongsu focuses on a massive object. He is trying to see if the system can handle the heavy lifting without breaking a sweat. In the blink of an eye, the huge thing just glitches out and vanishes into his inventory.
No lag, no wait, just pure, unadulterated storage magic that would make any hoarder jealous.
But then the intrusive thoughts kick in. He starts wondering if living creatures can be stored in the void, and if they would actually survive the trip.
That creepy grin tells us he is definitely going to experiment soon.
His deep thoughts are interrupted by a local sect member named Machiel. This guy is a total bottom-tier thug, who loves power-tripping on people he thinks are weaker than him.
Machiel starts mocking Bongsu for being a mute, calling him a half-wit and a slacker.
He demands our boy stops daydreaming and goes to walk a horse like the good little servant he thinks he is.
Bongsu just hits him with the Ayu act, playing the role of a brainless mute perfectly.
Machiel is visibly disgusted, wondering what he is even supposed to do with a guy who can't even speak properly.
While walking the horse through town, the local brats decide to join the bullying session. They start pelting Bongsu with rocks because apparently, in this world, being an orphan is a crime punishable by stoning. These kids are even singing cruel songs about how Sosum is a stuttering idiot. They have no idea that the man they are mocking is currently holding back a literal demon inside him. Bongsu keeps his head down, but his aura is getting darker by the second. The contrast between his pathetic stuttering act and those glowing red eyes is enough to give anyone nightmares. He just pats the horse and keeps moving, acting like the perfect, harmless victim.
The patience on this man is insane, but we all know that when he finally snaps, it is going to be a bloodbath.
The kids keep chanting that he can't do anything because he is an idiot. They are literally poking a sleeping dragon with a stick and laughing about it. Meanwhile, Machiel is back at the armory whining about his own chores. He is also getting suspicious because his buddy Guak Dong-o hasn't shown his face in days, probably because he is already stored somewhere. Machiel is shocked when Bongsu emerges from the armory. Not only is he back early, but he somehow finished all the weapon cleaning and heavy labor ahead of schedule.
The thug is stunned, thinking the near-death experience finally knocks some sense into the kid.
He actually believes Bongsu has become a proper human being just because he is working like a slave. To really sell the act, Bongsu hands over a bribe in the form of a heavy coin bag. Machiel is absolutely ecstatic, laughing about how the brat finally learned how the world truly works. As Machiel struts away with his pockets full, Bongsu drops the facade. He coldly notes that those coins aren't a gift, but rather the fare Machiel will need for his one-way trip to the afterlife.
Feeling like a total high roller with his new blood money, Machiel decides to skip his usual cheap tavern.
He is looking to spend big and act like the boss he clearly isn't. He arrives at the Phoenix Tavern and immediately demands to see the top-tier beauty, Chozian. He is throwing the bag of coins around like a total simp, desperate for some high-end attention. The tavern owner is confused because Machiel is usually a budget customer, but money talks.
He secures a private room on the second floor, thinking he is about to have the night of his life.
Machiel sits in the room, puffing his chest out and waiting for the show to start.
He is so lost in his own greed and lust that he doesn't realize his life expectancy just dropped to 0.
Chozian finally enters, and Machiel is completely mesmerized.
He thinks her beauty is on a whole different level compared to his usual girls, and he is already drooling over her.
He tells her to sit close and pour him a drink, acting like he is the king of Murim. He is so focused on her delicate hands that he has no idea he is being watched from the shadows. Through a crack in the wall, a single red eye is watching his every move. Bongsu is right there, and Machiel's time is officially up. Welcome to the Phoenix Tavern, the local hotspot where morals are optional and the customer is always right as long as their wallet is fat.
This greasy boss is busy judging a client for picking a girl young enough to be his daughter, but he quickly reminds himself that money doesn't have a soul, so he might as well enjoy the profit.
Enter our boy Bongsu, still rocking the Sosum skin and looking like a total peasant just waiting to be stepped on. The staff doesn't even bother with a warm welcome, immediately throwing shade and asking this mute if he even knows where he is standing. They tell him to get lost before they lose their patience, but our boy has a bag of coins that speaks way louder than any insult.
Suddenly, the trash talk evaporates as the boss realizes this lowly orphan is actually a paying customer with a specific request.
Bongsu demands a meeting with a girl named Eng Eng, and since money talks, the staff is more than happy to play nice.
They point him to a specific room on the second floor, completely unaware that they just let a wolf into their little playhouse.
While the boss is busy counting his blood money, Bongsu makes his way upstairs with a cold focus that should have been a red flag for everyone.
He slides into Machiel's room and initiates a sudden, brutal assault before the thug can even process what is happening.
Machiel is caught completely off guard, gasping for air as Bongsu pins him down with terrifying strength.
This isn't a fight. It is a clinical execution, and the thug is left wondering what kind of monster just walked through his door.
The struggle is pathetic as Machiel tries to understand who this bastard is, but Bongsu doesn't give him a single second to breathe. He is operating with a level of cold efficiency that makes it clear he has done this 1,000 times in his head. Bongsu continues the beatdown, making sure Machiel feels every bit of the shock and pain before the light leaves his eyes. There is no mercy here, just a predator finally getting a taste of the hunt in this new, twisted world.
Our protagonist looks down at his handiwork with a chilling smile, his red eyes glowing with a psycho energy that would make a demon sweat.
He isn't just killing for revenge, he is doing it because it is the most logical path to power. With Machiel dealt with, Bongsu turns his attention to the woman present in the room, looking at her like she is just an object in his path. He is calculating his next move with zero emotion, treating the entire situation like a high-stakes game. He observes the girl and determines she is a mere herbivore, someone who lacks both the strength and the will to protect herself from the predators of this world. She is just a witness he needs to handle before things get messy. Bongsu decides to streamline his mission instead of leaving a trail, looking at the girl as if she is just another item to be managed. He is not here to be a hero, he is here to survive and thrive by any means necessary. He stands over her, confirming that she is completely defenseless, which makes her the perfect test subject for his more unique abilities. It is time to see if all that practice with his system skills was actually worth the effort. He pops his inventory skill, and in a flash of blue light, the woman is literally stored away like a spare piece of gear. Bongsu is low-key proud of himself, noting that his prior practice with this inventory cheat code is already paying massive dividends. He pulls up his status window to check the damage, noting that while his martial arts are still a total mystery, his level is sitting at the very bottom. But then, the system drops the real bombshell: he has successfully earned experience points. This confirms his darkest theory: killing people in this world is the literal key to advancement. The more he hunts, the more points he gets, and the stronger he becomes until no one can stand in his way. Bongsu becomes obsessed with the idea of becoming infinitely strong through the simple act of hunting human prey.
He realizes that if he levels up enough, his future missions will be a total cakewalk, and that thought gives him a twisted sense of joy.
He looks down at the mess he made and feels a genuine sense of appreciation for this wonderful new world he has been dropped into.
His only real regret? He doesn't have a camera to record this glorious murder hobo journey for the fans. Meanwhile, the girl Aang finally arrives at the room, offering a polite apology for her delay.
The staff outside is starting to get suspicious, wondering why Machiel's room has gone completely silent after all that supposed action.
One worker is getting seriously irritated, assuming Machiel and the girl are just being rude and ignoring his calls.
He is pacing outside, losing his mind over the lack of response and the eerie quiet coming from behind the door.
Losing his cool, the worker finally bursts into the room to demand an explanation, but the words die in his throat. He is met with a scene of absolute horror that is way beyond his pay grade, and his eyes practically pop out of his head.
The discovery of Machiel's bloody remains sends a shockwave through the entire tavern, ending the night's peace with a chilling revelation. Our boy Bongsu has officially left his mark, and this is just the beginning of his bloody rise to the top.
Welcome to Manhwa, a place where money flows like water and the local ruffians are always looking for a quick payday. It is a land of rich plains and even richer targets, making it the perfect breeding ground for drama and chaos. Naturally, where there are bandits, there are clans trying to play hero.
While the Namgung clan thinks they are the absolute units of the region, there is another player in town that actually gets things done.
Enter the Danri clan and their elite Black Crow squad. These guys are the ultimate intelligence masters, making the legendary beggar sect look like amateurs when it comes to digging up dirt within Anhui borders.
But even the best spies are currently losing their minds.
Squad leader Gi Daehyo is staring at a report that looks like a glitch in the Matrix because a literal suicide plague is sweeping the province. The trail leads back to the very first victim, an armory artisan named Machiel. This guy was found dead at the Phoenix Tavern, and our squad leader decides he needs to see the crime scene with his own eyes. Daehyo is not about to let his subordinates handle this one. He heads straight to the tavern, probably hoping for a lead but finding nothing but a massive headache and a bunch of nervous locals. He steps into the room where Machiel was found hanging from the rafters. At first glance, it is a textbook suicide, but Daehyo is looking for the red flags that everyone else missed. Here is the kicker, it is a locked room mystery. The only way in involves moving heavy ceiling beams that have not been touched in years. It is physically impossible for a killer to leave this way. Cut to our boy Bongsu, who is out here living his best life with a fine horse and a system UI that would make any gamer jealous. He is currently crunching the numbers on his next power-up.
Bongsu realizes that if he wants the big XP gains, he needs to stop bullying commoners and start hunting actual martial artists.
He needs the perfect middle ground prey to bridge the gap.
Speak of the devil. A group of low-tier street thugs decides to show up and remind everyone why they are destined to be fodder.
They start mocking Bongsu, calling him a loser and a simp. Bongsu is internally debating whether he should just delete these guys. He even considers stuffing their bodies into his inventory to keep the streets clean, but he is trying to avoid a public scene. These NPCs really have no survival instinct. They keep pushing their luck, unaware that they are standing in front of the most dangerous man in the province who is just waiting for an excuse. Django is out here making plans for a horse he does not own, while Bongsu is sensing enough killing intent to fill a stadium. It is officially time for the victim act to end. Bongsu finally breaks his silence and tells them to just kill him already if they are going to talk so much trash. The thugs are stunned that the local loser actually has a voice. Bongsu triggers his inventory ability and suddenly the air is filled with glowing chains. It is not a fight, it is a clinical removal of trash as he strikes with terrifying speed.
One by one, the thugs realize they picked the wrong target.
Bongsu is moving like a ghost, leaving nothing but blood and broken egos in his wake as he clears the room.
The system chimes in with the best news ever, Bongsu has officially hit level 2. The experience points from these idiots were just enough to give him that sweet level up glow.
The survivors are absolutely losing it, screaming that he is a demon before running for their lives.
Our boy just stands there, looking like the ultimate menace, ready for the next challenge.
Imagine being a low-tier thug who thinks he is the main character, only to realize he is just fodder for a literal monster.
This guy is huffing and puffing like he is running a marathon, but the only thing he is racing toward is his own funeral. Look at that face. Pure, unadulterated terror. He is begging for his life like a simp, but our MC does not do mercy.
1 second you are a big shot, the next you are face-planting into the dirt wondering where it all went wrong.
He really had the audacity to call our boy a living coin purse? Local bully discovers that the cripple he used to beat for lunch money is now the demon under his bed. Talk about a glow-up that comes with a side of murder. It is totally unfair, he cries. Yeah, life is tough when your victim starts fighting back with cheat codes. He is being dragged through the mud like a sack of trash, and honestly, we love to see it. Wakey wakey, eggs and bakey. Time to meet the demon you were mocking 5 minutes ago. Bongsu is just sitting there, waiting for the trash to wake up so he can start the real fun. The vibes are immaculate and terrifying. Nothing loosens a tongue faster than a sharp blade and a cold, dead stare. Bongsu is not here for small talk. He wants names, and he wants them now. Tell him about Django, or lose a limb. Your choice, buddy. So the trash he just took out was actually an executive for the Black Society?
These unorthodox groups think they own the back alleys of Bongyang, but they just met the ultimate health inspector.
The big boss is named Bang Bang Poyam? Sounds like a brand of cheap fireworks, but apparently, he is the one who wanted Bongsu dead just to steal a horse. Petty much? RMC is taking notes, and he is definitely checking them twice. Bongsu offers the classic deal, give me the tea, and I might let you live. The thug's face lights up with hope, which is hilarious because he clearly has not read enough manhwa to know how this ends. Inventory is not just for loot, guys. It is the ultimate evidence disposal system. No body, no crime, and a perfectly clean alleyway. If the MC ever gets tired of being a god, he has a solid career in professional cleaning.
Our boy just realized these criminal groups are the perfect XP farm.
They are too weak to actually kill him, but strong enough to give those sweet level ups. It is basically an all-you-can-eat buffet for a hunter. Wait, leveling up heals every single scar and wound? This system is basically free plastic surgery and an ER visit rolled into one. He is even speculating he could survive a hole in the heart. Talk about being built different. But there is a massive catch. The level up light is basically a giant kill me sign in the sky. Subtlety is definitely not this system's strong suit. One flashy level up in the wrong place and every psycho duke in the land will be on him. Bongsu knows the deal. A hunter hiding among prey has to look like a boring, ordinary civilian. He is going full stealth mode because the best predators are the ones you never see coming until it is too late. Walking through the city with his horse, looking like he wouldn't even hurt a fly. This man's poker face is legendary. He is already planning how to farm the Black Society for everything they are worth.
Just as he is getting lost in his own edgy thoughts, some random guy has the nerve to grab his shoulder.
He asks if he is Sosum, and the tension just went from 0 to 100 real quick. The stranger drops the bombshell, "Did you kill Machio?" Looks like the past is catching up faster than expected. Bongsu's eyes are glowing, a fist is flying, and we are officially on a one-way trip to Hype Town. Imagine being so much of a mistake that the entire universe starts throwing error codes the moment you level up. Our boy Bongsu is out here breaking the Murim system just by breathing, and honestly, that is some top-tier protagonist energy.
He realizes that since he is a literal glitch in the Matrix who should not exist, the game system is having a total meltdown trying to calculate his presence.
No point in crying about it now, though. He is already here and ready to cause problems.
Look at this status window trying to fix itself. The stats that used to be hidden behind question marks are now turning into gauge bars because reality apparently cannot be quantified like a cheap mobile game. It is all about the vibes and the power levels now. He starts scrolling through his skill list like he is checking a grocery list. You have got your basic slash, thrust, and block, the typical starter pack for any Murim simp. But then, things actually get interesting. A wild spirit eye appears. This is a technique even a veteran player like him has never seen before. Before he can even process the mystery, the system force activates it because a massive threat just stepped into his personal bubble. Talk about a jump scare.
The system starts screaming that an enemy with a level difference of 10 or more is closing in.
The countdown is on, and Bongsu is just sitting there while the proximity alarm goes off like a nuclear siren. This early warning system is the only thing keeping him from getting sneaked. He figures out this is not some random ninja, it is a master from the Danri family moving at a snail pace just to flex his presence. Bongsu is not even sweating. He knows that if this was a real assassin, they would have been at his throat already. Instead, this master is taking his sweet time, probably waiting for a dramatic entrance. Our boy starts doing the math on the power gap. To reach a level 10 ranks higher than him, this person must have stacked a mountain of bodies. We are talking thousands, maybe tens of thousands of lives sacrificed to the grind. He is staring at the door, waiting for this high-level monster to appear. In this world, the difference in level is not just a number, it is the difference between a god and an ant. And right now, the god is knocking. The door swings open and in walks unit leader Gi Daehyo, looking like he has not had a decent nap in decades. He is not here for small talk, he wants to know if Bongsu is the one who sent Machiel to the afterlife. The interrogation is intense. Daehyo is looming over him, asking if he is really just a lowly servant named Sosum. Bongsu has to play the part of a terrified nobody perfectly unless he wants to be the next victim of that mustache. To make sure the kid is not a hidden master, Daehyo decides to do a manual scan. He grabs Bongsu and pumps him full of true chi, searching for any trace of hidden martial arts like he is looking for a lost remote in a sofa. The energy surge is insane, but the results are a big fat 0. Daehyo finds absolutely nothing inside the boy. No internal energy, no secret cultivation, just a whole lot of nothing. Bongsu is officially a normie in his eyes. After the chi search comes up empty, Daehyo loses interest faster than a kid with a broken toy. He dismisses Bongsu as a total waste of time, satisfied that this scrawny kid could not have possibly murdered a martial artist. The investigator walks away, still stressing out about the suicide epidemic that has been cleaning out the local population. He is so focused on his own worries that he completely misses the predatory look in the boy's eyes. Bongsu watches them leave, his true nature hidden behind a mask of weakness. Little do they know, the person they just cleared is the biggest threat in the entire province. The glitch is about to become a nightmare. Daehyo confirms to his subordinate that the boy's body was completely empty. He is convinced it was all a waste of effort. Meanwhile, Bongsu is probably laughing internally at how easy it was to fool the local law enforcement. The streets are buzzing with gossip. In every tavern and alleyway, people are whispering about a new legend. The suicide stopped, but the bodies are still piling up, only this time, it is the bad guys who are getting deleted. These drunkards in the tavern cannot stop talking about the nameless hero. Apparently, this mystery man is out here systematically slaughtering every shitty unorthodox faction he can find, and the locals are absolutely loving the carnage. The fans are going wild. They are calling him Lord Nameless Hero now. He is basically a one-man extermination squad, turning these arrogant martial artists into historical footnotes one by one. The White Tiger Unit? Gone. The Red Wolf Gate? Exterminated. The legendary factions that used to bully the weak are being crushed like insects.
Everyone is wondering who is next on the menu for our mystery slayer.
The smart money is on the Black Society. If they hear that the nameless hero is coming for them, they are probably going to need a lot more than just luck. The hype is real, and the hunt is just getting started. Out in the pouring rain, we see a lone figure in a straw hat looking like the ultimate edgelord. Bongsu is no longer just a glitch, he is the apex predator of this world, and he is coming for everyone's head. Imagine being such a professional slacker that you take a nap while a literal Grim Reaper is turning your coworkers into human origami.
This guard is out here catching ZS while the rest of the Black Society is having a collective panic attack because they realized they are the last ones left on the hit list.
The vibes are absolutely rancid. Word on the street is that some nameless righteous swordsman has already deleted 3 entire units, and these losers are the only ones left standing. The sleepy guard finally wakes up, but only because an unseen blade decides to give him a permanent retirement package. Enter Bongsu, the man, the myth, the absolute menace. He finally shows up at the stronghold and he is not here to negotiate. 1 second you are breathing, and the next, your head is doing a solo flight down the stairs. It is not a fight, it is a total cleaning service.
The remaining thugs are losing their minds.
They are watching their friends get disassembled in 4K under the rain.
Bongsu is just walking through the front door like he owns the place, and honestly, with that much blood on the floor, who is going to tell him no?
These criminals are trying to act tough, calling our boy a nameless rat. Bold words for guys who are basically just walking experience points.
They try to swarm him, thinking that numbers can stop a protagonist.
Local tip, it never works, but thanks for playing.
The leader is screaming for every available man to jump in.
It is a sea of fodder against one very angry swordsman.
The tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife, which is exactly what Bongsu is about to do to everyone in a 10-mile radius. Bongsu decides he is tired of the small talk and activates the 1,000 army sweep.
This is not your average swing, this is a delete all button for human beings.
The visual effects alone are enough to make these simps regret every life choice they ever made. Red and black slashes are flying everywhere. It is like a blender but for people. Bongsu is thinning the herd with zero effort, moving so fast that these guys are dying before they even hear the sound of the blade. Talk about a bad day at the office. The battlefield is a literal crimson lake at this point.
These guys really thought they stood a chance?
Bongsu is a one-man natural disaster, and the Black Society is currently in the eye of the storm. No amount of backup is saving them from this massacre.
One high-ranking member thinks he is the main character and manages to sneak behind Bongsu.
He actually lands a deep knife strike right in our boy's back. He starts gloating like he just won the lottery, calling Bongsu a mortal human who can be killed. Oh, sweet summer child, you have no idea.
The attacker is laughing, thinking he is a giant slayer.
But then he looks at Bongsu's face.
Instead of screaming in pain, this absolute psycho is smiling.
If a guy smiles while you have a knife in his back, that is your cue to leave the country immediately.
Bongsu flashes that creepy red-eyed grin and suddenly an inventory screen pops up. This man is playing a completely different game than these thugs.
The terror on the attacker's face is priceless as he realizes he didn't wound a human. He just annoyed a monster.
The gloating is officially over. Bongsu doesn't even care about the blade in his spine. He is back on the move, and the remaining criminals are starting to question their entire existence.
The screams of their buddies are dying down, which is somehow even scarier than the noise.
Now we get to the audacity. These traffickers and murderers are actually complaining that this is unfair. They are like, we only did a little bit of human trafficking and murder, why are we being treated like fodder? The hypocrisy is staggering. Someone call a ambulance. Realizing they are cooked, the survivors scramble through a secret path leading to Paradise Manor. That is a very ironic name for a place that is about to become a graveyard. They are hoping the leader's estate will provide some safety, but they are just leading the wolf to the sheep. They try to use the darkness to their advantage, setting up a trap and firing a volley of projectiles. They are huddled in the shadows, praying that they hit something. It is pathetic, really. These red flags are trembling while Bongsu just walks through the fire. Bongsu emerges from the dark completely unfazed. The arrows didn't do squat. The survivors are shrinking back, their last-ditch effort failing miserably.
You can practically smell the fear through the screen at this point.
The Paradise Manor is looking real hellish right now. One terrified survivor has the nerve to ask what they did to deserve this.
He is crying about what right Bongsu has to judge them.
My guy, you are a human trafficker. The moral high ground is about 10 miles above your head. Bongsu just stares them down with those cold, dead eyes. Bongsu finally speaks, and he is not here for a debate on ethics. He tells them straight up that he doesn't care about their reasons or their lives. He only wants one thing, their lives.
It is cold-blooded efficiency at its finest.
No mercy, no monologue, just facts. The final cleanup begins. Bongsu is moving through the remaining trash with zero hesitation. Every swing is a period at the end of a very dark sentence. The Black Society's ranks have been officially decimated, and only one name remains on the list. With the subordinates cleared out, Bongsu looks toward the main building. The final boss is waiting. The leader of the Black Society, Bang Poem, is the only one left. The rain is still pouring, the bodies are piled high, and the real hunt is just getting started.
Imagine thinking you are safe behind your walls, only for a literal shadow to start picking off your squad like a horror movie villain.
Our boy Bongsu is officially on his demon arc, and the White Tiger unit is the first course on his revenge menu. He knows he is still a bit of a glass cannon compared to the top-tier Black faction members, so he is not playing fair. Arson, ambushes, and luring them into the dark, it is not honorable, but dead men do not complain about the rules. By the time the leader of the White Tiger unit finally wakes up and smells the smoke, it is already game over. More than half of his subordinates are already cold bodies on the floor, and the vibe is officially catastrophic.
Here is the hilarious part. Because he is murdering the bad guys, the local townspeople think he is a hero.
They have dubbed him the Nameless Righteous Swordsman, and Bongsu is more than happy to use that hero mask to keep his bloody business running smoothly.
Leveling up comes with perks that would make any gamer drool. He just unlocked Qinggong for that top-tier mobility and the 3 forces sword art. Our edgelord protagonist is officially getting a buff that makes him a walking disaster. Now that he can actually face these thugs in a direct fight, it is a total slaughter. Even the kids in the street are play-acting his kills. The Red Wolf Gate? Erased. Gone. Deleted from the server. Bongsu is not leaving any witnesses. He finally comes face to face with the big boss, Bang Poem.
This old guy is sitting there all dramatic in the rain, probably wondering why a guy wrapped up like a mummy is currently dismantling his entire organization.
Bang Poem tries to get philosophical, asking why a swordsman of justice is hiding his face.
Bongsu just stands there looking like a menace, probably thinking about how much he hates small talk before a murder.
Look at that face. Bongsu is literally laughing at the idea of being a hero. He is here for one thing only, and it is not saving kittens from trees. The mask is off, even if the bandages are still on. The duel kicks off with high-voltage energy. Bang Poem is no slouch, and he is moving with the kind of speed that justifies his position as a leader. He wants Bongsu to show him everything he has got before the end. It is a clash of titans in the pouring rain. The visuals are peak edgy swordsman energy as they trade blows that could level the entire courtyard. But the old man is sharp, he is already starting to read Bongsu's rhythm. Bang Poem notices something the audience already knew: Bongsu's body is a wreck. He is not in perfect condition, and his reach is just a tiny bit off. The old fox starts persistently targeting Bongsu's existing injuries like a total pro. Bongsu is taking heavy hits now.
Blood is flying everywhere, and for the first time in a while, our protagonist looks like he might actually be in over his head.
This is what happens when you try to speedrun a boss fight with half health. The old man spots an opening and lunges for the kill.
He thinks he has Bongsu pinned, but he is forgetting one thing. Bongsu is the king of calculated risks, which is just a fancy way of saying he is a suicidal combatant.
Just when it looks like a stalemate, Bang Poem pulls out the ultimate red flag weapon, a hidden whip sword. This thing is unpredictable, nasty, and catches Bongsu completely off guard, shredding through his defenses in a heartbeat.
Bongsu is leaking more blood than a broken faucet.
Bang Poem mocks him, saying that using your own flesh as bait is not the way of a true martial artist. He calls him an assassin, a hunter, or just a straight-up monster. The whip sword is wrapping around the battlefield like a metallic snake. Bongsu is struggling to find a way in, and the old man is laughing.
He thinks he has the upper hand because he is playing a different game entirely.
Bang Poem is getting cocky, calling Bongsu a murderous demon.
He thinks he has seen all of Bongsu's tricks.
But Bongsu just looks at him with those dead eyes and explains that in a life-or-death duel, the one with more secrets wins. Our boy is not done yet. He tells the leader that he has officially run out of moves, while Bongsu is just getting started. The Three Forces sword art is about to be unleashed, and the vibe is shifting from predator to prey real fast. The final exchange is absolute chaos. Bongsu is basically daring the old man to try and kill him one last time. He is leaning into the demon title now, and the Black Society is about to find out exactly why the Red Wolf Gate disappeared. Everything comes down to this one moment.
The rain, the blood, and the sheer audacity of Bongsu using himself as a human shield just to get one clean strike.
It is not pretty, it is not honorable, but it is definitely Bongsu. The whip sword fails to stop the inevitable. Bongsu has more hidden advantages than a cheat code user, and Bang Poem's face goes from smug leader to terrified victim in record time. The hunt is reaching its climax. Bongsu's resolve is terrifying. He does not care about the pain or the insults. He is a hunter, and he has just caught his biggest prey yet. The Black Society is seconds away from being a memory.
As the final blow prepares to land, Bongsu reminds the old man that righteousness was never part of the deal.
He is here to deliver a game over screen, and he is doing it with a smile that would give a nightmare nightmares.
The energy on the page is insane. Bongsu is fully committed to the kill, ignoring his shredded body to ensure the leader of the Black Society stays down for good. This is what peak demon mode looks like.
Bang Poem lets out one last scream, calling him a murderous demon, but it is too late.
Bongsu has cleared the map. The region is safe now, but at the cost of letting a literal monster become its greatest legend.